Hello and welcome back. Now yes, I got my new 4K TV yesterday and I immediately rushed on to this Let's Play because it is, one of my favourite Let's Plays, to be honest. I'm absolutely loving the old Stream Farm. It was always one of my favourite maps on FS19, and even though it's completely different, I did fall in love with it again, and that has grown definitely, and it's fantastic. But because I changed from HD to 4K, I did check that I've all got into the habits because I've lost so many episodes over about a year. It's got to be approaching a year now that I've been a content creator, that I've got quite almost paranoid, and I'm quite sure most content creators are the same, where you actually really check to make sure that you are recording. You'll have noticed the sound effect when I start recording and stop recording, it actually sounds on the recording, which you can't help. So I know when this happened, so I knew the recording was going. I checked on my desktop. I can sort of sneak preview, but I can go to Windows while still maintaining this, and you will only see this because I actually grabbed the specific window, so therefore it only records this window even if I go into Windows. So I made sure, and everything looked okay until I came into editing, and then I realised, in my horror, that basically it was recording full 4K in a HD window, which that might not sound terrible, but what it really means is there are, I think it's equivalent to a quarter of the pixels on HD in comparison to 4K. So what that means is if I'm looking at that there, all you're going to see is the half of the tree, and imagine this screen that you see now split into four. You're going to see the top left hand section, which when you think you're doing fields and stuff where you need to see the view, so the long and the short of it, I'm not going to belabour it, is literally it's a fantastic recording. It was done in full 4K, but it only captures a quarter of the screen, which basically means the viewpoint is shocking. It's like looking through a magnifying glass at certain sections. So if I'm on this field, all you're going to see is the top section, the top left hand corner of what I'm looking at now. So if you imagine that, you're missing half of the field. So the long and short of it is, it's far easier if we just explain, and I don't want to labour this because I don't want to bore you to tears, but I just want to say, obviously we missed an entire episode. So what I'm going to do is show you what we actually did by going over the crops. We did, it's interesting, we did fully fertilised. Let's remove the mulched. Fully fertilised. I did double application with 21, 23 and 28. Bought a new cultivator, and what I did do was I did a contract on field 38. We redid field 38 contract and we took the bales, and immediately I was up to 17,000 and I spent £5,000 on this lovely front cultivator. And what I said was, we did lease the 4-metre Amazon, and I do intend on buying one because it would be fantastic for us. And what I was thinking was, we can cultivate on the front and use the Amazon on the back, and we can do 4-metre cultivating stroke planting in one sort of Oh, there is one bad thing about that though. If you put seed, it means the stones stay in, because once you put seeds in, you cannot lift the stones. I never thought of that. Yeah, because this is a standard cultivator, it rips stones, hence all the stones. So I'm trying to think. I suppose what we could do, I really do love our original cultivator. I was toying with the idea of buying a second one of those, and in some ways I really do wish that I had. Because although you do this in one hit, which is good, let's go and see how much we're going to get for this. I do like it, I truly do, but we only just bought it basically minutes before this. So I think we'll see, because I just think, all things considered, don't get me wrong, it is a fantastic idea and I may well use this in other Let's Plays. It just seems, we've already got the 8-metre, and it's just the stones thing. Oh dear, this is a bit painful. So yes, we bought this, and again, it is a fantastic bit of kit. It's just the stones bit, and it is, although it seems a good idea on paper to do it all in one pass, you seal the stones in if you, and I know this because I've done it on another Let's Play. much do I get for that? We lost 800. 700. Yeah, I do. I know it's shocking, but I need to repair anything over here. Right, brilliant. So, yeah, I've lost 700 euros, but I think what we'll do is next year, we've used it, we got the use out of it, it would have been worth leasing it for that 700, so I can't say it was a waste, and it did teach me a lot. One thing we could now do though is we could buy the stoner. Did I do that? I thought I had, if I'm honest. I could have done. Let me just have a quick look. I could have sworn I did. I did intend to do so. Stone pickers. No, I didn't. I think I was talking about it. So yeah, so we did the contract. Let me just carry on showing you. Yeah, we fully fertilised and limed. The 23 and 21 both needed lime, which you can see they don't now, apart from the corners that I always was terrible on. So they've been done, cultivated, and they mulched, as you saw, again. So we are ready in the morning to basically seed this. So yeah, there was a lot of talk went on, and I emptied a bit in the harvester. I poured into, I think it was about a ton or something of something that I had to pour into the silo. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, there were lots of worker woes yesterday, really were, but it was actually shocking. Courseplay was misbehaving something chronic, and 38 I pretty much in the end I had to windrow by. It would not accept the course. It was doing all sorts of horrible things, so much so that I did what I did a few episodes ago. I said enough. Enough. These are not helping, they are hindering. Also, I think at one time we were down to 793 euros, so I said I'm going to do it myself anyway because I'm running out of money. So yeah, that took us up to 17 grand from pretty much nothing. So you can see how well we did with the selling of the bales. In fact, let's just have a look. I'm not sure if it shows you. I think it can show you yesterday's finances. Is it in the... I think it's in the money one, isn't it? So for this very month of July, 3,984. What was that for? Vehicle running, that's repairs. Property income 624 from our placeables. Sold bales. Wow, we did really well actually. So we did 50,868. I must have bought something else then. Oh no. No way. How could I possibly? 5,000. Oh, of course. Yes. No, I had to fill up with. I had to do all of the liming and fertilising. So that's where the miscellaneous wage pay. Oh my life! Is that what the wages were? Gordon Bennett. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's yesterday's thing. So new vehicles. Yeah. Basically, you can see. Actually, that's not bad. We did sell the other bale fork, didn't we? And we bought. So yeah, we bought. Yeah, that's true. 5,000 for the front thing that we just sold back, and we lost 700, and 3,000 and odd for the new thing. And of course, we got. Yeah, actually, that's quite good. So on paper, we pretty much broke even, but which made profit and allowed us to have the wages to do yesterday's work. So I've explained in about 10 minutes what took me an hour and a half to do, and it was a stressful hour and a half as well. It was not the most pleasurable. It was horrible. It was. And one thing I did discover, was looking at the map, was the fact that if we look at tomorrow, the sorghum is both harvested, but also we can put canola in. So that particular field we will both harvest and turn around. We've got all these others ready for planting. So I'm not sure if we can afford. Don't think we can afford to buy the Amazon, but we probably. Oh no, we're doing canola. We've got our 9-metre one. So no, we're going to hit all 4 fields with the canola. I'm not sure whether to lease one. Another one. How much would that cost if we leased another one of the? There's some cracking mods come through as well. Some really decent ones. Weeders. Let's have a look. How much to lease another of the iron box? Lease. I think that's quite reasonable for a 9-metre So what we're going to do for now is there's absolutely nothing to do, and I am not going to contract. Oh, sure. No, I am. Yeah, this is. Let's have a look. If I am, I'm not doing a lot, and I'm only going to go a close one. Field 10. That's very close. It's 60, 49, 43, 36. I don't want to do a big one. No, I'm not doing any of those. If there was field 20 just up there, I would, but I think we've done that. It's probably still growing, so no, not going to do any contracts this time. Not going to be tempted. I did say I've got to get a bit cleverer about the way that the contracts that we do. Although sometimes if you need the money, you've got to go, haven't you, to do the really good ones like field 30. The ones I like 40. I think let's have a look. I'll show you. The ones I really love on this map are 48. I love that field. 37. I don't mind 40. It's probably both of those. I'm sure they're both grass. The 43 and 42. I like both of those. I'm not very keen on 36 or 33, and I don't like 60. That's horrible. That field that goes around the train station. That is awful. I don't mind 13, but the thing is, what I'm trying to do is, even 42, 43, they're only a little bit down the back road. They really are. So I tell you what would be nice, when you look at the map like this, I think I mentioned this yesterday, there are bridges now. It would be fantastic if you could bridge across at the bottom of 27 to the bottom of 42. That splits the map. When you consider how close to the bottom of our farm that is, sneaking down there and crossing that river would seriously cut out all of these bends and that to get there. I think it would cut out an awful lot of travelling. So I'm seriously wondering if at some point we should bridge. Seriously. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose when you think realistically, that's the point where realism starts to go, because there's no farmer can afford to bridge a river, and there's no way it's going to cost you a couple of grand. So do you know, I reckon I'm going to have that as a rule of engagement. Not going to do things like that unless it was a little bridge that's going over a little stream across your property or something. But rivers, no. It would cost tens of thousands to do it properly. And I know it's a game thing, but I just want it to be realistic. I suppose what I'm trying to say is you could possibly, I've seen it done, in fact. It is quite possible, but again, it'd be planning permission, all that, like for you to put a little tiny bridge across here. It's not very big here, so there's possible bits where I would allow it, but crossing the major rivers, no, that's just it's just sort of too unbelievable. It's stretching credibility a little bit too much, and I want it to play as realistically as possible. I did look at selling the bales. I did mention that last session, the one that got lost, but the prices are, it's never good straw, but it was absolutely terrible. So yeah, and for some reason the harvester and everything keeps crashing into this, and we have got a dimmock again. Something about building on this near the path, or this building, that makes horrible dimmocks occur. So yeah, it's luckily the bales in there. But right, so then we're going to sleep. We are. I do like that new bale thing. Oh, that was the other thing. There was one very important thing. I did throw my dummy out of the pram. I did, and I basically said, and I agree with what I said. This I am going to uninstall. I love it, but it is so awful. All yesterday's session, this caused me so much of a headache. It moves. It doesn't matter whether there's anything in it, nothing in it. It moves. I was trying to put bales on a moving bale trailer. I have never seen it move as badly as this, but it was so shocking, and it has been literally in the mod hub for months now. So if the modder cared about the mod, or no, that sounds bad, because I don't mean that, but all I'm trying to say is I am not prepared to put up with mods that are going to be, and that, I know that sounds horrible, because I do really appreciate modders and the work that they do, but there are certain modders who you can absolutely rely on, and I'm not talking about when H2 Studios, Rawley Christie, Black Sheep Modding, these are absolutely aces. They are. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying that H2 Studios would release a mod and it would be perfect the day of release. Anybody would expect that kind of have expectations of like that is being unreasonable. Now I realise that, but if a mod has been released, there are certain modders that release the odd mod, and it's obvious by what happens to that mod that they don't care that much about the mod because it never gets fixed properly. I'm quite sure there are not bug testing really. There are, every time the mods release like log files, I know I work with Windows and software, Sonic Wall and all sorts of pieces of software, and they all have logs, especially Windows. And of course, I'm assuming it will be the same. So every single thing is going to cast up a mod sort of logs, basically, that the modders can actually, I'm quite sure, pick up on and improve, or people will complain, or there's YouTube videos about things. This has caused me one time too many amount of pain, and I do love it. I have got to be honest. It's cheap. It looks beautiful. It goes down to a bale trailer. It goes to a really good capacity. It's very well put together. It looks fantastic. It truly does. But it doesn't. It's not fit for purpose. Its function of a trailer or a bale trailer does not work. It literally travels all over the place, and it's literally. What my point is, we all play this game, and I think most of us sort of try, it's not escapism in the true sense, but we all play games to sort of, especially I suppose COVID and all the rest of it, and even normal life can be terribly stressful, so a lot of people want to escape too. And this is a lovely universe as games go. It really is. You don't hurt anybody, there's no killing, shooting, maiming or anything. It's just a lovely experience on a beautiful place and fantastic equipment. But that's my point. That caused me so much stress yesterday that I thought, it's not worth it. It's not worth it being cheap on the game if it's going to cause me, the human being who's playing this game, stress. I come on this game to give pleasure to others and hopefully at some point relax, not to stress myself out too much. So I'm not having a go at the modder. I'm just saying, as a player or a content creator, I'm drawing the line. There are any mods from this point forwards that continue to cause any degree of pain for a length of time, like this, the D616 has been released for months now. If that doesn't get fixed within a reasonable amount of time, then I will shelve it or uninstall it. And if I hear it's something like this that I love is fixed, I may well put it back in and try again. And if it was all good, then it would be definitely a mod of choice. It is a fantastic trailer, but it's not a fantastic trailer when it starts to travel around. So what I'm going to do, and I hope you will agree, I've used the Reich quite a bit, and it's not as long as this, not quite as this is a fantastic trailer. You can also go 4 high. It's got some massive advantages, but when you try to put bales on and the trailer's moving, then your bales don't go on square anyway, so you end up putting 6 or 7 bales. There's not many trailers that you can't put 10 on, so even if the Reich was smaller, it doesn't move. It's solid as a rock. Yes, it's dearer, but bottom line is, I'd sooner have reliability over cheapness any day. There's lots of mods over the years that I've thought, it's a lovely mod on paper, but on practice it causes stress. So anything like that going forwards, I'm going to swap. So this needs replacing. I'm going to do it for a Reich, but I want to do this fairly. I want to, obviously it's a little bit like the map update sort of thing. We need a trailer. I suppose what we could do is we could put up with this until, and this is our top priority, is probably this. Actually though, thinking about this, there are a couple of trailers and they are cheap as chips. I was thinking about this earlier at work and I'd forgotten about it until I was just talking to you. Right, let me show you what I mean. It's not the best and it's nowhere near as good as this. I'm not trying to say what it is, but it is. That's a very reasonable one as well, but it doesn't go to a bale, does it? No, it doesn't. Right, the brand there. It's the Reichers, the ones that I know are really good. Which I can't seem to find. Where are the Reichers? Please don't tell me I've not installed the Reichers. Yeah, the D616, and I think it's all of these, isn't it? Yeah, this entire pack. I am going to. Yeah, it is the Lizard Trailer pack. They all suffer from that same sort of thing. So yeah, here we go. The PPTS ones. You've got the solid axle. They only go up to. It says 23 meters. Oh, no, these are the Reichers now. Yeah, they are dearer. They are, but almost identical in size, and they do animal transport as well, but they also do the bale. And I guess it's not as long, I know that. So I think what we're going to do is, let's have a look how much new. This is an exchange due to game mechanics and nothing else. So I want to play this as if we would just swap in a like trader for a like trader, but I might. Let's have a look at these ones. I'm not sure if these do the bale. Yeah, they do. These ones are light because they're very, very. Well, you can see it's 3,000. We could get 2 of those because you can actually put the back things on the back, and also you can. They can only go up to 10,000 if you're going to. So they're not very big. So you'd have to have a couple to actually be the equivalent. And I'm not a massive fan of that, but I suppose we could do that even now. Let's have a look how much ours is worth. Obviously it was a deal, so they're pretty much useless. Oh, he says. Oh, of course, we bought it new, didn't we? Because of the game update. Right, let's sort this now. Let's do it, and I will uninstall these. I know that this is going to affect quite a few Let's Plays, because to be honest, I've got these on a number of Let's Plays because they are so good. So I don't want this to appear that I'm giving the Lizard pack a bashing. I am, but what I'm trying to say is I do love it, but I don't love the stress that it causes, so it's going. It is. I've put up with it for long enough. No more. Any mod that does this for a long time like this is going from this point onwards. I shall uninstall it because I'm worth more than that. And that's all I'm saying. And we all are, to be honest. This is not about me. Everyone's worth that. I can't afford to stress myself out over. Right, let's sell that. Okay, so I do. Okay, let's go in the shop. Yeah, that's another thing I did yesterday as well. Went properly in the shop. Let's do this. I did say, basically, right, let's just stop chattering and actually start buying. Let's actually, being as we got so much back for that, let's actually not just go for anything. Let's have a look for the Reichers. Would be nice to, imagine they are still smaller. 2 of those for now. But yeah, we could do that, thinking about it. I am being silly. Let's go for those, the 2 cheap ones. 2 10s are 20 grand, which probably translate to about 18 tons if you're going to think of. I can't find traders. Sometimes I'm as blind as a bat. I can see that in. Oh, I wasn't going high enough. Right, okay. Let's do that again then. Let's have a quick look though. There are a couple of. It's the fact that it's a bale trader as well though. That's what I do love about some of these fantastic deals, the modded ones. Again, that only goes higher for it does do all those, but it only goes up to a certain size. I do love those. I always love those in FS19 as well. Sorry, lizards, you've gone. Hang on a minute, the Oracle. Oh, stones. 18. Oh wow, I never did realise it did wood. So that's max capacity. That would also probably do bales. Can't understand why. So silage, it does go up to 15. Right, okay, that's one to consider. But to be honest, these ones do a proper. What I would like is that on the front with a solid front, and that with a swivel axle at the back. So that'd be 6,500 for a 20 tonner. I do love these Reichers though. These are absolutely amazing. Yeah, as well as the fact that you can have that is max capacity is that. Attach a type. Also could do that, and that is Yeah, it's a bit dearer than what we've just done, but I like it. I truly do. I think I'd keep it the rice green. That's another one to consider then. There's not much in them though, is there? For the extra money, the old faithful. You could do the same with that, but they are dearer than what? Ooh. What's the standard size of these? I never thought of those. 8 tons. They are small, is what I like about these. They're little TARDISes. Yeah, unreal. 82,000. I don't think I'm going to quite roll with that. Let's have a look. What on earth is that? Wow. Now this is one I do like the look of, but obviously this is massive. It really is out of character, I think, with this particular map. So I think I'm going to go with what I originally said. So we're going to go for the PPTS. Capacity 10,000. Oh, look at that. Wheel brand. Let's go colour. We're going to go with the colour that we actually had before. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to go with blue, blue or blue. Right, I'm going to change the license plate. Every time there's an update. Something sometimes makes my mouse not work on this. I have no idea what it is. Okay, license type 2. Because you can only do numbers. Wasn't nothing wrong at all. 7. Okay. Right. Now we're going to go for one of the little ones. Again, 10,000. Do the same colour again. Black and buy. I know it's not the same, it really isn't, and I am very sorry too. I say I will uninstall them though, because I just can't. Yeah, I'm not willing to. It's not that I can't, of course I can. Oh, I thought I did black. Oh, seriously? Half a bob job. Right, we're going to get these. We've done that, and we've done well out of it as well. We've got an awful lot more, because these are so fantastic. I do love these trailers. Just wish they were a little bit bigger. Just a tad. 12, 14 tons, and then you'd have seriously a 30 tonner with these two, because they are small. I do love them. And the fact you can make them into bale trailers, we can make 2 of these into 2 bale trailers, and they're not really much less long than our original. Right, smash in. So, I'll leave these just parked here for now. Right, smash in. So then, in the morning, we could now afford the Amazon. We have sold the front cultivator. No, we don't want that anyway, do we? I did say that. Yeah, that is true. We could still buy the Amazon, but I think we're going to stick with we're going for canola this time, so we shall see what the year brings. Anyway, for now, we're going to go to sleep. And let's see. Why am I doing that? Do you know? One day out the game and I forget everything. Nothing for us to worry about. No, 8 o'clock still. It's still not late enough in the year for us to go to 9 yet. Let's look at the favourite part of the sales. Keep my eye on the local sales in Europe to see what our farm can do. Ooh, beautiful. That is, I love that. 287 horsepower. We do need a tractor at some point, he says. bushes, remove tree stumps and bushes. Yeah, some cracking deals on there. Unfortunately, nothing for us, which is typical. Right, the morning has come. Let's have a look. When is the bad weather coming? It is coming at 12 o'clock. Right, so then let's crack on. Let's get our harvest underway first in our new field. We fueled up. That was the other thing. I was nearly out of fuel with the, and I've got the fill warning, the fuel one that warns you when you're about to run out. That's the other thing I sort of said in yesterday's session. Fantastic. So we filled everything up. I think we need to buy another one of those fuel pallets. They are amazing. I was saying that, I was singing their praises on how good they are, and they are. But yeah, we filled up on this. Right, let's get cracking. Let's get that sorghum harvest underway on our latest field. Oh wow. Do you know, sometimes I'm as blind as a bat. If you buy, let's have a look with that field. Do those come with that? How do you know? How can I never have noticed that? Let's do it again. My mouse has disappeared. They do come with field 22. Oh my life. It was me worried about making shelters and that over this side, and said about buying this field, and this field comes along with all these. Oh, that's amazing. And all the way down here. Smashing! Oh my life, that's made my day. Oh, brilliant. Right, well, that is definitely our next purchase. Definitely. How much is it? 58,080. So, plans then, 22, definitely to be bought. Like I did say how awful, obviously, that is, the run up. We're only going to really be able to do this as a slab of concrete or something to park on. But when you consider that, there's all this entire set all the way down here, it makes this absolutely fantastic. Do you know, sometimes I'm as blind as a bat. I cannot believe all these months I didn't realise that this was tied to that. So close. Otherwise I would have probably bought this one first. I mean, you know, after our original yard. Right, anyway, enough waffling. That's made my day. I am so chuffed. Let's set this going. And let's get our 2 new trailers across. It's not very far to go to our silo, is it? Eventually, being as we've got lots of grass equipment, I wouldn't mind buying 20. I did say I'd love to buy this set of fields up here. Seriously, right, let's see if Cosplay is played nicely this time. A lot of weeds in this, I do realise. Right. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on this, that you roll a lot more than you ever did before on FS19. It doesn't stop the same. Maybe a setting. It may be that, yeah, I've got a setting. Oh, it did all of that. Nice one. Target position is right. Open generator. No. Great job. Open generator. 17.4 feet. 2 headlands. Yeah, it's quite a narrow field. Generate. And start. Yeah, these new lines that you can see are really strange. So let's save the call. Oh, do you know I'm terrible at this? 24. Okay. Terrible at remembering the numbers. Save course. Activate. 24. Dominator. 5.1 meter. Brilliant. So I'll put that because it could have been the corn one. Right, let's go grab the trailers and leave them on the side, which they're in the shop. Stone throw away. We can, of course, go the back way out of the field. It's quite handy. And that other field, that's say I would eventually like to buy 25, because I say these are all around the shop, and I do love that fact. Right, so why? Oh, it hasn't missed it. I thought it had missed that corner, but it has just missed the little bit of the corner. Right, we shall stick these on the side. I think I've worked something out as well. Courseplay likes it on the headland, but also likes them parallel to your lines. So we're going to leave those there for now. We can get on now with the... I do think, actually, thinking about it, this is okay with the cedar. I'm sure that weed is very, very weak. Let's have a quick look. I'm sure it's something like 90 horsepower. That's why I love it so much. It's fantastic thinking you've got one of those that you can both weed and seed at the same time. Two purposes in one. Yeah, 90 horsepower. So this can manage it nicely. I know it's a bit limiting, but canola's a good crop. It's all obviously about, I mean, eventually in time when you tractor, well, I've got decent tractors to be on, or a decent high-end one. That was another thing I mentioned yesterday as well. Oh, actually, yeah, that is true. Okay, Fendt GT is. Where are you? You're there. So we need to, yeah. It is nice to have this back in 4K, it truly is. Just, yeah. I think this needs a bit of a wash. That's another thing I mentioned as well. This is a beloved mod, I truly do like this, but I'll just show you what I mean. This is yet another. I'm starting to use the still washer. Watch what happens if you... Oh, actually, yeah, I need to change. If you click turn on high pressure washer, and this again has been out for quite a while now, and you obviously... Oh. Plonker. Wow, I've never forgotten that before, ever. It's a tired old day. Yeah, it's fantastic at cleaning. Right, I'm just going to show you what actually happens. When I obey this and I switch it off, note it still says turn on high pressure washer, even if I move away. Yeah? Watch what happens if I click on that now. Ta-da! The longest hose in history. Now this has been out for a while. Now if I do this on the still, it does what it should do. It literally puts the hose away and puts it out, and you don't get this. The only way you can get out is by getting a vehicle and clicking on it, and it goes, well, yes, I know you can do that, but again, it's just as I said, there's when you have to think about things, especially on those tide days when you are absolutely shattered and you just want to get on, and then something like that happens. It's funny, but it becomes that old saying of a mountain out of a molehill. On those days when you're not at your best, all of a sudden that little tiny molehill becomes a mountain. Whereas if you choose your mods wisely, and don't get me wrong, I love it. I've sung its praises an awful lot, and I do mean it. I do love it. But yet again, it has been out for a long time. There's only a certain amount of things that are going to cause you stress. It took me quite a while to work that out. That's my point. That actually, if you clicked on the vehicle, now I didn't realise it was that mod until I used the still, and I thought, oh, I don't get that issue that I get with the. Now, just because it's very, very reasonable, and I do love it, I can't allow that to play with. It's like I said, you've got to draw a line, and I'm drawing the line. I'm not willing to put up with that. Any mods that are on the mod hub for a long time, or a few weeks, months, that aren't fixed, that still have issues, I'm leaving. No matter how good, they are. I'm just not willing to do that anymore. Right, let's get this. Oh, do I need to top up? Oh, not really. That's good enough, isn't it? Right, so we're on field 28. And I say I'm not having a go, it's just this is for my peace of mind, not for any other reason. 8-meter cultivator. We must have done something to this, because there's no way. I have never used this on this field. I must have always... Right. Let's make this course then. We want to create job, and we want course play field work. Field 28 is correct. Now then open the generator. Now this again we want to go counterclockwise. That's correct. 3 headlands. No, generate. Lovely. Those lines aren't too bad. It's about the standard set that we seem to get. So we shall start the job and click on it again. Now this, I figured this out as well. If you click back on the tractor, it will then save that course. It's for some reason jumps to another worker. Oh dear, it looks like. Yeah, course plays misbehaving again. Save the course. Activate 28 9 meter weeder. Okay, why is the worker not actually told me that it's struggling across the road? That's what I want to know. You did at least used to get warnings. Yes, you fired. It's rubbish, absolutely pathetic. Let's let this van go. We should manually fix that. That was absolutely pathetic. Not impressed. So then, where were you coming from and where were you going? Let's have a look. Let's turn the lines on a second. See if we can decipher this and change them at some point. Let's turn them all on for a minute. Where did you get to? Oh, literally. Oh, how on earth did you manage to get to the tree? I don't get it. Seriously don't get that. Seriously don't get that at all. Hello. Okay, let's do this the old-fashioned way. Standard worker. Course play, you're fired. For now. Just don't get this why sometimes. Please tell me you're working. This for that. Right. Dear me. That means I'm going to have to empty myself. Right, so then. Farm manager's job is never done when you've got such terrible workers. Seriously. Right. How are we doing over the road? It never ceases to amaze me though how some fields, I suppose it's a learning curve. You've got to basically work out what even course play in all its glory. It is getting good now, but yesterday I definitely didn't think it was good. I thought it was terrible. Oh, you idiot, you've gone and done it again. If you're using course play with a weeder seeder, you need to switch the seeder on. Plonker. Right, let's try that again. Let's just make sure, and this is another thing I was saying yesterday, which was I've started, which I obviously broke my rule straight away, was I've started waiting until I can see that they actually do what they did, which I did do across the road, but this one, yeah, if I had watched it carefully I would have known it was only weeding. Oh my life. Let's, yeah, do you know, I'll do it myself to get you there. We would like to see you do this field and perhaps the others. Weeds are growing across the road. I don't know why the weeds aren't growing here. Fantastic. Let's make sure we're seeding. You are indeed fantastic. Yay! Canola. Brilliant. So that's that field started. Double fertilisation has already happened. Let's go and check on the... Yeah, we're going to have to empty this manually, so let's just crack on. Oh! I wonder if it's the trees. We all know our workers hate trees. We may have to do some tree trimming around this this particular field, if it's going to cause issues with the workers. Yeah, seems to be something. It's not just Courseplay that's not liking it. They don't like triangles, I've said this, look at the end. Yeah, but that makes no sense, he didn't even go all the way up the field. That makes no sense at all. Why did you do what you did? Ah, it's got to be trees. Let's do a couple of headlands, get them away from these trees. Oh no, we'll if it is that, if this happens a couple of times, I'm going to literally just, unfortunately I hate it because I don't like taking trees down, but if trouble is it's a game, and if it affects game mechanics, then they've got to come out. That's the thing where real life, I wouldn't do that, but then real life workers aren't afraid of trees, so yeah. I love planting sorghum. It is an absolutely amazing crop to plant. It needs so little seeds, it's unbelievable. Definitely one of the most economic ones to do. We're going to set the worker going up and down, I think. Right, tidy this up. No. I do think though, like Courseplay, that's 50%. Yeah, we've got the field level warning as well, which is fantastic. What we're going to do is we should set this going up and down now. I think we should, if it's trees, and if it's triangles, what's the point? Let's cut the triangle off. Let's try and get this sort of squarish. It says, well, that's very square, Mr. Smith. Ah, this is the bit that I'm on about though. Yeah, this triangle here. If we cut this off manually, then we'll just set them going up. There's a bit of a triangle at the top as well. We can manually clean that up. So I don't know, that's another thing I was saying as well. I did say a lot. Yeah, it was an entire episode of pretty much talking yesterday. I think I did one few minutes time lapse, because I was talking about lots of things, so yeah, you missed me my talking tackle yesterday. Typical. Yeah, I've still got the episode, but honestly it makes for really grim watching, because all you can see is a quarter of the screen, and it's not always the best quarter. If it focused upon the work area where you were working, it wouldn't be bad, but because it doesn't do that, because it sort of focuses on, say, the top left hand side, some of it's just weird. So yeah, at least I figured it out only after one episode. So this normal worker going now, traditional worker, and we shall, yeah, that's a point. We'll empty this out. Let's set this as, yeah, that's about right. Let's go down the trailers. We'll empty this out. I do love the look of sorghum, but I hate it for weeding. When it's in its green stage, it is so bright, hurts your eyes, and also you can't see weeds very well. Wow, why did you? Oh no, you started. That was the start point. Thinking about it now then. Which way is the... you're on the right side at the minute. But you won't be in a minute, so yeah, I'm going to miss this out. I could actually swap the tractors over, and we could use this for any of the heavy work we've got to do. We could... Actually, no, thinking about it, we could use the John Deere, we could get the mulcher going. Tell you what we'll do. No, I'm going to stop here. We're going to just call this corner. We are, which you've, yeah. Whoa. Section manually, and then we'll set that biggest section going. Now I'm not sure, but I think sorghum sells early. I think it's soon. Look, Hobo's Hollow, I did an entire crop of sorghum. It's not quite as good as oats, but it's nearly. Not quite as good as canola, but it's nearly. It's yeah, no straw, so I'd give oats a slight, but then there's an awful lot of work when you're doing straw as well, so it's, yeah, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. It's a lot of work to straw, but you can. Again, it's nice to see straw. So one thing I said at the end of FS19, straw had pretty much become useless unless it was for animals, and even then you could buy it cheap as chips. It was almost worthless, you could hardly sell bales anywhere, so it's nice to see. We all know straw's obviously not worth a fortune, but it is certainly still can bring in a few thousand from a decent sized field. So if you're a struggling farmer like me, an extra 2,500–3,000 is not bad. Help if you were over it. You really would. Sorry, you weren't there when I started. Be out your way in a minute. Well, it's a bit slow actually. Why did that stop? That makes no sense at all. Please don't tell me that's its fill limit. Can't be. A 10 tonner that only has 3 tons in it. Oh my life. What? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Is this game falling to pieces or what? That can't be right. It's not even. It doesn't even duplicate. If it was 3 for the first, it should have been 6. Do you know? There are sometimes. No, seriously. Let's have a look. Max 4,588. Oh, come on. I mean, I like realism, but that's not realistic. Right, we're going to have to knock that off. That's stupid. There's no way that a 10 tonner could only cope with that amount. That's. Oh, do you know, sometimes. Seriously. You try to play realistically and it's stupid. No, you're going off because that's absolutely crackers. There's no way you could actually just. No one would have that. Oh my god. Does it say 4.5 ton limit on the side? Yeah, but that would be 9 tons. And that. Please. Now that is weird because that's basically meaning that that's reading only one trailer and it's got 4.5 tons in the 2 of them, so I should have 9 tons. It should be half a trailer load, so we're going to have to switch it off because it's not working properly. Wow, that is heavy, and this is a powerful tractor. Oh, we want to change the tip side. Left. Yeah, that's wrong. That's reading the. Oh, that's got the indicator and I can just see it. Yeah, as I say. Oh, that is modder trailer. I can't blame Giants for that. It could be the trailers themselves not reading properly, and that's what I was saying. I am going to be ruthless if something doesn't work properly, or I can't. I suppose I'd have to switch, but again I want to play by realism like that. If it would be a 4.5 ton limit in real life, then I want it to be, but that would be 9 tons, and there was not 9 tons. It was 4.5, so it's not reading the 2 trailers, which is bad. 100% again. What are we doing across the road? Field 28, so they're going along nicely. Okay, Luke. Wow, doing at weird angles. You're going to be. That's gonna cause trouble at some point. It truly is. How are we doing across the road? Field 28. I would say that's yet another thing I mentioned yesterday. If you click on a tractor that's pretty much hovering under the number, it doesn't let you click on the tractor, which is rather bizarre. We're in the last bit, by the look of it. Wow, that's good timing. Let's have a look, see on the seeding bit on 28. Yes, yeah, there's a couple of little tiny corners, which, oh, quite a big corner by the bale place. One at the top. We'll just quickly borrow this and have a quick zip around the field, and then we shall set it going on across the road. Aha, here. Of course. Yeah, that should have worked though, actually, thinking about it, because we had just created that. Why is it not seeing that as part of the field? Or did it? Maybe it did. It's weird. Let's get these little patches here. Oh, it's changed to grass! Let's go back. Let's lift. Just did here. Wally. That would have been awful. I have done that once before, you know. Accidentally clicked on that. Done half a field of one thing and half a field of another. That is a nightmare scenario. You are better to cultivate it out. I did, of course, persevere and trying to be a Wally, and yeah, let's find that this time. Go across the road, switch it off. I did. I suppose when you've done an entire crop, it's hard, but it was so tough. It really was. I do regret. Yeah, I think if I was facing that again, I would like to say, no, we are literally going to leave things. Right, let's set this going. Let's have a look. Let's have a check at field 23. Have we got the course? 23. No. I don't understand why I've never not got a weeder, have I? No, I haven't. All my life. Okay, right. Great job. Course by fieldwork. Open generator. I would say 2 for this one. I think 3 headlands is way too much. Generate. Go. Oh, that's a nice course. Start, click back on it to save its course, look at the course number, save course, activate 23, 9 metre weeder, which we also know is a seeder. I'm not being nasty, but I don't think somehow... What on earth has gone wrong with course play? Let me just check the course on the map. Yes, 23. Something is just absolutely bizarre. That is. It wasn't even going the right way. So how on earth did the worker decide to go the wrong way? I just don't get it. I've never seen Courseplay behave like this. I mean, it was clearly going the other way and I'd set it going. Let's go across to the Luke and see how Luke is doing. Right. Still have to gear change it manually an awful lot. It's ridiculous. Right, that should be. Yeah, I'm gonna have to set. I thought I'd set a standard worker go, but then I just looked and I can see a Courseplay course. So this has somehow picked up to start the Courseplay course again. Set a standard work going. There's a bit right next to us. I'm watching for the trailers moving. I was that paranoid yesterday. Right, there are a couple of little triangles I noticed down here. Then we'll set a traditional worker going. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's two. Smash in. I say that a lot, I know. Amazing the words we repeat a lot. Let's put that in. Not to annoy anybody. Right, I think that is reasonably. Let's go see how the weeder seeder is going. Oh, I think I just realised what I'm doing. Let's try that again. This time let's seed and weed. Keep on making the same mistakes. Time after time after time. Oh, seriously, you think you're finished? Ongoing saga of worker woes in FS22 of workers not knowing the most simplest of things. Sometimes just best to get on and do it yourself. Seriously. Sometimes. But of course, like anybody, there's nobody can single-handedly run an entire farm of this sort of size on their own. Do need workers. I just wish I could find some good ones. Mine are very temperamental. Yes, it would be nice also to actually go into productions, truthfully. Never ever had money enough to do that. Because we've always been buying equipment. Imagine we've still not got enough still going to really seriously need to buy more equipment, even. So yeah, I suppose we're not doing badly. A decent harvester. We've had lots of battles when you consider from the start. We started with so little equipment. We've now got decent baling equipment, complete set of grass work, hay, silage, all of that kind of equipment. Every single piece of equipment that you could possibly want, we have got. I mean, obviously, I know something like the Anderson, but yeah, that I still remember to this day that actually did come up for 26 grand when I was redoing the game. I think I told you all, when I was obviously rebuying the equipment, going through the months to get it to August. One of the last drops before I started in August again, when we set the farm up again with the same fields and all the rest of it, got the Anderson bale trailer drop. I was gutted because obviously I needed to start with exactly the same equipment as I had before, so I had to ignore any drops. That was absolutely gutting, and I think I even mentioned on that episode that of course it probably wouldn't drop again, which sod's law, isn't it really? Murphy's law. Right, jobs are good. How much did we get in total? We shall have a look when we put all this in our silo. Yeah, stick it in the back one. The bank on that, I didn't realise how severe that was. Let's sneak through there. Let's leave that there and then it's not going to hurt. Right, we're going to literally put these... Oh, we're going to put this away and then we are going to get cracking, see how we're doing on our field. I'm going to set the worker going on the other field. This cultivator, no, we're not going to get the John Deere going on that. See, I was going to do that about 10 minutes ago, but because of all the worker woes, it threw me out. I would like to get that grassed or something, or concreted, really would. Probably a slab of concrete, I think. Oh, it doesn't look very nice though. Here's the back wall. That in. Let's quickly go grab the John Deere. Let's grab the mulcher. Set this going. And it is in mulching config. Or is it? Did I change it? Let's check it. We did say we're going to do that. We're going to get into good habits, I said. Let's check it, so let's. I'm sure it's still in mulch configuration, but I'm not sure. I think I knew that I needed it for today, so. Mulcher, I didn't set it back to standard. Which of course was a good practice, I think. Ooh. Right, so that is weed seeder done on that. Oh no, it's not. I can see weeds from here. There's no way you've done that. No way. Say. Right. This is a new field 24. Yeah, look at that. You missed that. It's a good job I noticed. Right, field 24. Field position 24. Target position where I am. Open generator 22.3 forts. Is that right? Yes, it is. 3 headlands is fine. That looks reasonable. Okay, well let's save that course then. Save. Activate 24. And it is, what are we doing? Oh, do you know, my brain today. I am about to weed. No, I'm not. I'm mulching 6.5 FS22 meter. I'm going to put mower, no, because it's always going to be mulching into here. Thinking about it. Right, let's delete first and see. I'll say it should be. Doesn't seem to like it if you start it on the standard screen now, the Courseway screen. It always seems to go wrong. But if you do it in this mode, the mini HUD, it always seems fine. So I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna have to learn my lesson and stop setting it going in that particular mode, because it doesn't seem to like it anymore. For some reason, it did used to work, but right. So we want. Let's have a look. Let's grab the John Deere, the fence. Let's fold. And we've still got canola on. Just start on this end, and we should do. Oh, I wonder why it literally missed an entire section. Makes no sense at all. It's like an entire pass. Yeah, it is. It's just one complete section. Don't understand why Courseplay was not interrupted at any point, but did not finish the course. Very strange. As I say, continuing work of those. A bit down there as well, I see it. It's one good thing about having weeds active, you can actually see exactly where you've been. Yeah, still weeds down there. Don't quite get them, must be medium weeds. Wow. Now then, this we're going to need to do from scratch, because this is a new field, sort of. Right, so this is field 21. Create job. Field 21. Target where I am. Open generator, 2 headlands, I think 3 on this, it's quite a wide one now. Generate 21, save, activate 21. Now this is the 9 meter weeder. So let's use it from the console, first waypoint, and leave it, because that seems quite good. I don't know why all of a sudden though we are seeing the transport numbers, but unless I've switched a setting on that I didn't realise. He's done a good job, and or she, I can't see. Right, let's just I'm going to literally shut up, and I'm just going to follow this for 5 minutes. That was really code for me. I'm going downstairs to make my wife a cup of tea. Yes, I've got to admit, I was hoping that the worker didn't crash for that couple of minutes that I was gone. Stuck one of my USB hooks a bit close to my vents on my laptop. Just, how are we doing? How's the Mulching doing? Let's have a look, Lando. Ooh, you've nearly finished. Excellent. Right, in that case, which is quite appropriate because I'm about to use the case. Right, cultivator. Also, yeah, no, we can cultivate. We'll set the cultivator going, and then we shall double fertilise that one, and then we've got to, yeah, we've got all of these to do. So that's two fields completely done. Third being worked on. This one, I do love this. Wow, I'm quite chuffed with our you know, the way that we hit the fields. It is quite good. I suppose that's one good thing about you working on small fields. If this was massive fields, then yeah, it would be a bit. I do love this cultivator, truly do. This is actually a 10 metre now. That's quite good. But this is such good value for money, and a shallow cultivator. I think that was a shallow as well, but 10 metre, and it's 20 grand, I think. Still very good value. But this I like the way it folds up. I like it's reasonable for the money and everything. It's a good complete, yeah, complete package. Right, really done. Absolutely fantastic. Mulcher, I think, is about to say I'm done. Should manually clean those V's up that they always seem to leave the turnaround marks. Set this going. Wow, yeah, smashing. Ooh, shame about that corner. That's, do you know what I think we're going to do? Let's do our tiny bit of landscaping on that corner. I know it's, I don't particularly want painting. Grass. Let's put some plants down as well. Do that too. So expensive, plants. Right, that's all we can afford. It eats you out of house and home, that does. Right, let's get this course started then. Yeah, that's nearly finished, 21. That's done a cracking job. Right, so we want create job, course play, that's everything's correct. Open generator, 26.2 feet. One headlands, I think two, and generate. And let's save that course. Save. Activate 24. Nope. 24. 9 meter. Do you know? I reckon that's what I've done on the others. I'm being silly. I should just leave it 9 meters. Because if you got, hang on a minute. Am I cracking up? I could be. Is it a 9? I thought it was an 8. It is, you wally. 24 is our first course. 24. Change mode, rename, activate. 24, 8 meter. Cult. Smashing. Del. Go. Down. Right. Let's get that, just that tiny bit of mulching finished at the top. Yeah, when I can afford the extra money, I am going to get the stone picker. I'm going to get those stones up next year. I do promise I will. Luckily they're not too bad. Fold. I saw that I was in the way. I did. Oh no. Do see a little bit I missed. That side as well. Those little tiny cornery pieces. Another thing I love about that cultivator is its very low horsepower requirements because it's only a shallow cultivator. I do love that, I think it's amazing. What's not to like? No stones. Right. Fantastic. We have got to roll, haven't we? I think we'll do that next session though. What I'm planning on doing is cultivating and then immediately I suppose no, we could go and do that actually. We could grab the John Deere in a minute. I'm being silly. What we'll do is we'll let it do a couple of rounds with the cultivator. Why has he hasn't? I say why has he missed that, but he hasn't actually. Right, what we're gonna do is let him do a couple of rounds. Should go take the John Deere across, grab the rollers and we'll get rolling. That's what I think. And we do need to keep our eye on getting him done. This is going to be a long session, but we have done a lot of work, so I'm nicely surprised. It is a bit of a monster, but it's all for a good cause. I'd like to do a bit of something good as well, if I'm honest. It's all, you know, work. I'd like to see prices of sorghum and that. Right. We are going to swap this though now over to mulching. No. Right. Grass cutting again. Of course, it would be good practice, as I said last time, to check that each time so that I can't possibly mulch. Destroy anybody crop again like I have done in this, twice this year, once with myself and once with a contract. Right, rollers, let's go grab. Let's just start on this field. We shall see how the cultivator's doing. If he's done another round, we shall set the seeder. Ooh, missed a bit down there. Where is the... It's right down there. How on earth did it get down there? Wow. I think that must have got knocked by something. Wow. Seriously? No, I don't have access to this land. It's all good. Right. Right, let's get cracking. We have a field to roll. We have 3 fields to roll, actually. This is one job I can't leave to the workers. That would be something that it super duper if we ever get a chance to get the smaller of the rollers, or yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a small 8 or 9 metre roller to be able to do this ourselves. I really wouldn't. Yeah, sorry, to be able to send a worker to it. Right, let's grab that. Set this going. Do 2 or 3 rounds to get in his way. The trouble is, all courses always crisscross a bit. That's the only thing. Right. Create job, course by field work. Field 24. Target where I am. Open generator. 3 will do. Generate. Ooh, I think 2. There's too much crisscrossing. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's better. Definitely better. Right, so save. Activate 24. 9 meter weeder. Let's just make sure. Yeah, they should be good. Let's go and grab the John Deere and let's crack on. Hoping there will be no accidents, but we all know, yes, this is this is FS22. It wouldn't be FS22 if such things didn't happen. We would think we were living in a paradise where nothing went wrong if such a thing happened in this universe. Such is a reminder that of real life. FS22 seems to mirror that, so ooh, I think I did miss a bit. I miss some there. Doubt I'll remember. So I don't suppose it's the end of the world to miss a tiny patch, but I do like to be thorough. I'm just hoping I didn't actually over-covered all of that grass. Why does that always do a weird thing there? Because I did replant that. Well, never can figure out the animations on this sometimes. Do some weird things. When you've done exactly the same thing on all of the field, I don't understand why you get weird brown marks when you've done the same over and over again with the same equipment. Why suddenly you get certain brown patches? That just makes no sense. To me, it looks that was not done. Which I reckon this had got an original cause, then we need to change it, because that's not right anymore. Definitely been changes since then. Right. This is the smallest roller I've got on any of my Let's Plays, because it's, yeah, it just seemed about right for the map. That must be about 9 metres. That's quite reasonable for little fields. Oh, ha ha ha. I did think we might get some. Okay. It's the fence. You hit a tree. You have hit a tree indeed. And of course, not learning my lesson again, I forgot to do that. So let's try to do that again. Do you know, seriously, you would think that 3 times was a charm sort of thing, wouldn't you really? I would learn my lesson. Okay, let's go grab the... Honestly, you be glad when you sort that out. It wouldn't be an episode on the Old Stream Farm without hassles from workers. One time I'm going to shock you all. I'm going to say everything went perfectly, all the workers were good, and then you'll think, no, this just is not right. This doesn't happen. And you would be right. C'est la vie. It's nice, it really is nice. We've done everything again, mulched the lot, so just got to double fertilise on the new fields. I don't want to, the trouble is I wanted to not do that. I suppose what we could do is take this across to it and take the fertiliser filled on the big case, which would advertise the fact that we haven't done that. I think that's not a bad idea. I think what we'll do is we'll take the rollers across the other side of the field. There's still quite a lot of coursework to do, and it has been amongst the session. So I did say that it's in time the work, we wouldn't be able to do this in one session, even amongst the session, because it's been a 2-hour session, I think, or thereabouts. And yeah, we've not finished this time. So mind you, we have had a lot of hassle with workers. So yeah, it's not surprising. I suppose that is the difference. Sometimes on a good session, you literally can just crack on and everything gets done. When your workers are at the best, whether it's standard workers or course play, it really just cut the time in half. The more faffing around that happens, the longer it takes. So I think what we'll do is we'll finish this field. Let's just have a quick look on the map. How are you doing? Oh, seriously? At the second I looked, you decided the same place. My life. Okay. That tree seems to have been causing a lot of issues. And I mean a lot. So I think me and the tree are going to have words at some point. I can't see the tree winning. The chainsaw will come out best, if I'm honest. Yeah, we can't have that. We can't have issue after issue. That's what I kept saying about the improvements I made when I came back from just a few levels. He says improvements. Yeah, that bit down there that obviously is not part of the original course, and that bit down there that's not part of the original course, we shall have to manually just weed and seed those areas and delete the original course and recreate it, because obviously, yeah, the changes I made when I came back, you can see them all, the extra bit fields that we did, and yeah, I can see the worker. I've got the minimap on for a bit. I do find going to have to get back into the habit of this when precision farming's on. I would imagine to have the minimapping, because it is, unless they've changed it enormously, the minimap is your best friend. It really is. So I'm trying to get back into the habit of switching that on at its smallest size. I think I know a lot will switch it on and off, but yeah, no, we'll on episodes, I suppose, where it's not necessary. I suppose switch it off in there. Switch it on when necessary. I've got to get into good habits, I think. That's the trouble. Yeah, it's nice to see as little on the screen as possible. I have got a few mods that do right things, like the damage, and that I think that's a brilliant mod, but it's not so intrusive as some of the others. I used to have Fruchtworks Inspector on FS19 and I found it invaluable, but I did find in the end, as good as it was as a content creator, I don't really think it's advisable to have something like that when it takes over half the screen. I mean, you could have had it in a less verbose mode. In the end, I did used to go on to FS19 and switch it into minimal mode, or it didn't. But it's yeah, the more equipment you get, the more it's telling you that's wrong. So I think sometimes you've just got to change your habits. As a content creator, as a player, of course I would have it on, absolutely, but when you're showing content, people want to be able to see the screen. I'm trying to aim for realism, not for yeah, not a screen nightmare. So brilliant, excellent. Yes, I might see what other rollers there are, because there are a few rollers. So something like the SEPI, because I don't suppose if you can set a worker going, again, it's one of those jobs that means you're not tied up. Not that I'm not going to work, as you all know, I definitely do work. Sometimes it's just me, but let's have a quick look on the big map. Yeah, they're doing nicely this time. Yeah, that's one thing that is definitely different. FS19 always used to let you know that the workers were struggling or blocked or whatever. This, they can be blocked for a while. I suppose you could say that's a good thing. They don't bleat at the first sign of trouble. It gives them a few seconds to try to adjust before alarming you and saying, oh, something's wrong. And I suppose in a way that's... oh wow, that's harder to see the roll in. Wow, I really can't see where I've gone. Yeah, it is, I suppose, really sort of giving them a bit of a chance. So I suppose you could say that's probably a better, not worse. It just seems worse on surface value until you start to analyse it, and then actually think, maybe that is an improvement, actually. But sometimes it's not, and I suppose that's it. Nothing's perfect, no system is, but it is obviously that people try to improve systems, and that's got to be a good thing. But yes, the one point I am trying to make about the mods is not that I'm having to go at the modders. Any modder can choose to go as deep or as not deep. There are certain modders who insist on excellence. 82 Studios, Royal Christie 1. These are serious modders, and their workmanship is absolutely amazing. I mean, yeah, it is. They are definitely modders. When I see their names, Mantrid, yeah, although he's not been a modder for a long time, I don't think. I only recall Mantrid at the latter part of FS19, but I might be wrong. I have been known to be wrong on occasion, quite frequently. So, but yes, I do seem to remember some of his absolutely excellent mods quite late on, and he really does make good ones. Black Sheep modding again. There's quite a few that the name's Pepe, one of the smaller ones, but nevertheless releases some absolutely amazing mods, all of which I can't think of any that are not. There are a couple that are escaping. White Bull modding, their workmanship is always super duper. There's a lot of really good ones, to be honest. In fact, there are more good ones. There are some modders who make No Name, yeah, another good modder. There's some modders who perhaps just make a couple of things, and so their workmanship is not a big through, I suppose, not. Yeah, Missy B, another probably one of my absolute favourite modders of all time. Some of the things I used to use with Missy B's. Omatana, another absolutely excellent modder. Again, these modders are the sort of names that they will truly create a masterpiece that it does what it says. It doesn't mean to say that they won't release with the odd little error. Of course they will in the wilds, that's how you get testing done, but I'm not talking about that kind of thing. I'm talking about they won't leave things for months and months and months as a rule of thumb, obviously. So yeah, I'm not 1 minute saying they'll always do it immediately, because of course, they've all got lives as well. But yeah, there are some modders who are definitely not quite so follow up quite. I mean, again, Farmer Andy, the Fent, cracking piece of kit. Yeah, there's a lot of modders out there who are absolutely professional and spot on about their mods being cracking. So yeah, my hat goes off to them all. It truly does. Even those who their mods are not fantastic, because it's not an easy thing to do. It probably is to them, because obviously they've got good at it, but yeah, there's also some modders who, as I say, don't do as well as the other ones, and they're not quite so professional about things, in so much as they don't always finish off properly, and they're not as bothered about things, so, or they're too busy, they have a life, one or the other. But as I was saying earlier, it's not about me having to go at modders, it's about me not willing to put up with the stress that a mod that's not to a certain standard puts you through. There's been a lot of those where, a bit like the trailer earlier, we found out that the 2 trailers, which is weird, because I've used that before and that did work, but I don't know that I've ever had trailer fill limit on, so, and I mean, it does say 4.5 tons on the thing, which should have meant that I could put 9 tons in the 2, but it was reading the 2 as 1, so, yeah. But that's not the end of the world, although it is if you're trying to play realistically where you want to use trailer fill limits. I should have been able to put 9 tons in. But again, that's another deal changer. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have bought those, because 9 tons for 2 10-ton trailers is just not good enough. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't. I would have paid more, and I may well do. I will think about what I've just said, because, yeah. And again, I'm trying to play to realism. If you start compromising, you say, no, I'm going to play realistically, then trailer fill limit is a very important thing to have on. So, yeah. And I'm trying to play more realistically, trying to play almost like this is a proper farm by proper farming rules. And I have got to be quite strict with myself, otherwise you start to bend the lines. And yeah, what was it I was saying the other day on one of the sessions, when I realised that crossing that line was sort of almost like cheating, but it wasn't really my fault. I did work, so that was it. When I was baling, obviously the silage, I don't mind when we borrow a farmer's piece of equipment going on to another, using that. It's a bit cheeky. Would you do it in real life? Probably not. It's me exploiting the system a little bit, but there is a certain point where your exploits become almost like you were stealing in real life, and that I don't like. That's where I would definitely draw the line, although I do remember this is a game as well. But that's why I insist on finishing my contracts, because if I'm trying to play this realistically, there's no way I would not finish a farmer's field if I was cultivating, or I would do the whole field. So I play that like I would if I was a real farmer in real life, and I insist upon that. So yeah, I think it was about silage bales. What I was saying was, I did figure it out after that though, when I was looking in editing, that basically what it is, the system works out when you do a bale on a field, on a contract, it knows that you should be able to convert that to silage, and it will mark those bales, all of them, as contract bales. It doesn't show you that obviously, but what that means is, if you at a later date, which I did, a later session, you put them through something like a baler wrapper, any kind of baler wrapper. I couldn't think of the name of the one that we've got, which is the extractor. Extract. I'll have a look in a minute. I hate that when I can't think whether I'm right or not. Right, so then we need to roll and just check that there's not missed any seeding. Stop that, let's grab. Yeah, that looks good to me. There is a little bit over there. Let's go and manually do that. And there's a bit there as well, but I'm not sure if it's been cultivated. It looks like not to me. No, it hasn't. No, that looks like it has. just finish these corner pieces. So they should have been cultivated. And then we'll get the manure ready. I thought I'd lifted it, I didn't. Yeah, it is covering, it just doesn't look like it is. Yeah, your trailer is important, obviously. I will finish what I was saying, I do realise I've not finished. Yeah, what I was actually saying was obviously bales are marked as contract bales or your bales. If they're marked as your bales that you've done yourself and you cut grass and then you silaged it, it would obviously take 2 days to convert to silage. But if you do a contract, it will still mark those bales as contract. If you came to that the next session and you'd finish the thing, it still marks them as contract bales, which means that it will convert it to silage straight away. Now I thought I'd cheated, and then I thought afterwards you didn't cheat. You can't help the fact that the contract system marks those bales as silage, so there's no cheating going on there at all. Teach me to look. It's very bad. So I didn't cheat, but I felt like I had at the time, but I didn't, because it's the system marks those as contract, so there's nothing you can do about it. They are contract bales, so they will turn into silage on a silage contract no matter what you do, and there is no cheating involved. There isn't, it's just that it is what it is. So I can skirt across. Oh no, I think these Samsons down. I've seen it earlier. Down the bottom. Yeah, it is, it's on our yard section. I can't wait to buy that field now that I realise those sheds are with it. That's brilliant. I love the way this turns, it's absolutely amazing. Oh, that reminds me, yeah, well, we've got some lime. Does field 24... No, it doesn't need lime. Brilliant. Now we're going to try to eject this, because we didn't do this last time. Now I was told you could by one of the viewers that you could eject the lime. Let's use the keyboard then. Open. Not so much. Nope, definitely can't, which means I'm going to have to waste that. Well, oh, that's a lot to waste. It truly is. Oh, seriously. I didn't think you could, not with something like this. I know you can on normal spreaders, but yeah, it's definitely not showing. Oh, no, that's too big a hill, even for it. This is such a beast, the Samsons, truly is. Right, can you preemptively lime? That's all I want to know. Because this is going to be... It just goes to show that is 50 horsepower too much, this tractor, and it can still only just manage to drag that, and it's only half full. Annoyed now. I know people mean well. People just... yeah. I wonder if this makes the slightest bit of difference. If you've not, does it mark it as limed if you've limed it when it doesn't need liming? That's an interesting thing. This goes a long way. I think it's across the road. I think it's field 28 that's, mind you, yeah, but we did didn't need doing this year, so probably we'll need doing next year. So if we've got any left, it's not a bad thing to go across the road. He says if we've got any left, we will have some left. Uses about 6,000. I think we used about 6,000 for 2 fields last time. But I know we were doing this. I wanted to manure spread. We'll get rid of this though, and then we'll fill it with manure, and then we're going to leave it at that because it's been a monster session. It truly has. I would time lapse it, but there is no point for one field. There really isn't. Yeah. Did I finish my conversation about the bales? Yes, I did. Yeah, basically that is how the contract system works, where you're working with bales. It literally does mark those bales forever as contract bales, and whatever rules there are for within the contract, which as we know, it does mark them as silage, and actually in FS22 changes them to silage, which is the same difference, I suppose, really. But yeah, it does mean that basically those silage bales, the ones that are yours at the end, you can sell straight away as silage, which obviously technically you shouldn't really be able to. But yeah, it's a system. It works in the way that it works. So you're not cheating, basically. That's 3,000 we've done so far. Yeah, so I should be paying attention to myself with this, because definitely that is not allowing me to eject that. Let's just do one thing though. No. No, definitely not. Definitely not. The eject buttons are not working that would normally work for eject if your thing allows you to eject. And this is my land. That's another thing that it can never do, is if it's not your land, it won't let you force eject on something that's not your land. But it will tell you that you can't. It will actually come up with the error message. So again, no, I can't. This doesn't. Yeah, there may be ones that do. Not doubting for 1 minute that. Bad Gaming, or God, I wish I knew his name. It is something gaming. It was something like Mad Gaming, but I don't know that it was Mad Gaming. But yeah, I know people mean well. I surely do. Probably there are ones that you can do that, but not this one. Alright, let's go across the road. Let's get that done. That's a bit too much of a hill to do that. Being as we've got to do that, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the worker doing field 28 to get rid of the lime, and we shall roll that, and then we've just got this to fill for next session. Yeah, otherwise we'll be doing the liming as well. That's a bit of a monster, that. So we want 28, 24 meters, so we want clear current course. 28, 24 meter spread of load, activate, and thirst. Let's go grab the John Deere, and we shall roll that. No, I don't want to create a job, I want to jump in. Let's get that doing. It's rolling, I was going to say I can't see. It's one thing about liming, you can't see where you've rolled very easily at all. You have to go on the map. So all we're going to need to do then is fertilise this, and we will have done all of our 4 fields. Yeah, there does. That's the one thing I did say. There is a certain, I think, where you get to a certain size where obviously you would time lapse. What we've done today has been a bit of a monster session, and I've done lots of talking for a change, because I usually time lapse massive sessions like this. But we have had a lot to. I've been trying to catch up with everything I said in the last session. It's weird when you try to say in 10 minutes what you did in an entire session. over the next few minutes, obviously bits and bobs come to you. So yeah, this session's been about catching you up on what I said and what I was talking about. I was harping on quite a bit about mods. Literally was about, you know, going forwards I want to be using mods that are good mods, and any that don't get updated within a certain amount of time. I also mentioned the Fleagle DPW ones, the ones where they used to fly. I don't know if that's been fixed, but it was like that for a long while on No Man's Land. As soon as you put the straps on, and it was again, it wasn't with lots and lots of bales, it just did it randomly. That was terrible. I couldn't live with that. Again, if they after 6 months were not fixed and I went on another Let's Play and they still did floating bales, I would get rid. I would. It's just, yeah, it's too stressful and also hardly realistic. You can sort of see where you've been actually. It's slightly darker. That's useful. Yeah, I can just make that out. Let's look at the map, how we're doing across the road. Yeah, lovely. Smash it. This is the last job though, we'd say. Well, apart from filling the manure, I am going to do that. No point in setting it to double application rate because it'll forget it. It's one of those session by session settings, I think, that gets. I'm almost sure it was. It's like when you put a plough down and pick it up again, it's lost allow create fields. It only remembers as long as it's connected to the tractor. There's a lot of little tiny game mechanics that you work out. Yeah, I've got on my Rizu forest, I've got a bit of a knotty problem. I think I've got a dodgy piece of wood. There was one tree that when I cut it, I could only cut it with a chainsaw. It wouldn't register to the tree harvester no matter how, and I know how to cut. I know the right places. I was, you know, like moving up and down and left and right and trying to get in the good position, and it would not allow you to cut with it at all. But I also think it's almost like a negative piece of wood, and I'll explain that. I remember Frithgar in one of his logging Let's Plays, there was a few pieces of wood that would they weren't registered. And they used to do weird things as well. This, I think, basically it's negating when you click on sell wood and you take this pile of wood, I think there's a couple of pieces of this dodgy tree in the load that's stopping. Well, funny enough, it doesn't really matter. The tank is empty because we didn't really care about lining the field. I'm nearly done now. Yeah. What was I saying? That interrupted and my memory's shocking. Let me try and backtrack. I'll look in editing and I'll try and remember to speak about whatever it was that I'm trying to remember that I'm forgetting. Ooh, there's more to do on this than I thought still. Yeah, we'll finish this though. We will. Oh, that's it, a bit of wood on the Rizu forest. Yes, I think it's a piece of wood that's basically, when you click on sell wood, it doesn't sell the woods, and I've had no problems with anything else or the same kind of wood on the Rizu forest. It's just this load, and of course I did grab the load from roughly where the bad tree was, which of course I didn't know it was a bad tree or it would affect us like this, but I seriously think it's like that the pieces of wood that Frithgar had on his Let's Play, only this is worse because they won't allow you to sell the other pieces of wood, which means I've got to, on any loads where I get a piece of the bad tree, which there must be about 6 or 7 pieces, means I'm going to have to painstakingly, one by one, move the wood and drop it in until I find the pieces of wood that's bad and then throw them outside. So it makes an easy job really difficult. So yes, I was gutted, so I came on here this morning, and that's when I did the episode that turned out badly, where it basically was the wrong settings. So gutted. Right, let's have a look. I think it should be rolled. Let's have a look. Fields 24. Oh yes, not bad at all. Right, smashing. Let's grab this. Take the. Now then, now we know that bit of land down the bottom is ours. We don't need to go across the other side of the map now, do we? We can leave that. In fact, actually, this piece of grass is. I'd never noticed how big that was until just. That's massive. We don't need to do it down where we did before now. Right, let's go grab that now, and we'll fill it. No, we don't want to reset. We want to enter. Brilliant, that'll do me. I only wanted to basically, now that's, I suppose actually, that's going to be interesting, because if it does actually preemptively lime, that means that when we come to lime, there's only going to be that section that needs liming. So that, I suppose, is actually perfect that we didn't finish it. That is, of course, if I remember. Because I know only too well. I'll be chatting to you guys and girls, and I'll be saying, well, I don't understand what this is about. I can only need to lime half the field. Maybe the penny will drop at that point. Hopefully. Yes. Right, so last job of the day. Filling this with manure. And luckily the field is right next to us. So that is beautiful. Manure. Smash in. Let's get that ready. I tell you what, we can. Well, no, we won't. No, that's the trouble. You say, oh, that's the last job. Oh, but I'll just. No, we won't. That is the end of the session. Right, I am chuffed. All we need to do is double fertilise this next time, and we have completely. Let's just check that out though to make sure, because yes, we have completely sown canola. I do intend, I'm not going to do this forever, but I am either looking for a reasonable seeder, or because we're on hard economy, we'll eke our money until we can find probably a couple of Amazones. I don't mind 2-4 meters doing it like that. That would be fine by me. If we're going to stick to our shallow cultivators though, we probably will buy a second one, maybe one of the other. I do like to show mods off and use new mods, excuse me, just to see how good they are, and to show how good they are, and also to see how good they are for myself as well. But it's not just about me, it really is about showing other people. I'll show you which mod I'm on about. Also, let's have a look. Sometimes you get, no, you won't get other mods drop. It's only been a few minutes, an hour. Right, let's have a show you which I'm on about. So it is cultivators, or is it? No, it's not. It's disc arrows. Actually, this one. I'm still sure it's a shallow though. Sure it is. Sure, I looked at this the other day, but I'm just showing you this is a fantastic mod. It's not that one. That one there. The disc arrows I use for shallow cultivation of fields. So 10 metre, and it's 21 grand. I was right. Yeah, it's beautiful and folds up quite neatly as well. So again, win-win, and only 150 horsepower. So a bit more than our 8 metre. There's only, only this tractor. Maybe the fence would pull it slower, but yeah, this is the only one with enough horses under the bonnet to truly master that. But yeah, that's why I like the 8 metres. I think it's 115, something like that, which is really within all of our tractor's limit. So yeah, again, I suppose for this Let's Play, that I've probably talked myself into it, and probably am better to get another of the 8 metres, because the tractor Traction King, obviously, because it is the biggest tractor, is the one that we have to sort of be careful, because it needs to do certain jobs like this. It's the only one that can. So yeah, this has got to be sometime. So we do need our other 2 tractors to be doing some of the side jobs like mulching and all that, because their horsepower requirements are obviously cracking. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you're going to continue with me on this journey. I am loving this Let's Play, I truly am. I love the growth and everything. It's slow because obviously we're on hard economy. That was the one thing I was going to do once. I was going to have a bit of fun. Let's have a look. I want to see when sorghum sells. Sorghum. I'm sure it's still December, January. That's November, December. And oats is, yeah, so it's all back end, to be honest. But look at that. Let's look at the prices. Oats sell for a top price of 643. Now we know that we get 100 more if we sell it at, oh, I always forget that place, Ortenburg. Yes, we always get 100-ish more if we do that. Let's have a look. Show price. I do love the way that they've added the max price on, so we get a max price of 761. So maybe just under 900 if we sell that at Ortenburg. And Oats again 643, so maybe 743 again if we sell it at the best possible price. But that is 27, 37, 40, 41,000. So that is considerable amount for once from that. And at the minute we've got 22 grand to under our belt as well. So I think, if I'm honest, next session we are going to do some baling because, yeah, as you can see, let's pick some. We could do some sowing, but no, you can make good money from baling. Let's have a look. What's field 18? Now we could do that section at the top. 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's have a look at those. 16, 17, 18 and 19. But 10, 11, 12 are all, yeah, actually right near the farmyard. I'm not a massive fan of 10, but 10, 11, 12, how much are we going to get for those? Because they're so close together and they're not far away. They're not bad. Silage, Tedder. Silage, right, I'd like to stick to silage. That's Tedder. 15, Tedder. They're not very far away. 18, silage. It's getting higher up, further away from us though. Could do one of the big contracts. Field 36, isn't that one of my favourites? No, it's one of my hated ones. 43 and 49. It's 48 that I like. 43 is not bad. If we're going down that way, let's have a quick look. I'm sure that's down. It is. I like 43. Let's have a look. 43. 49. I'm not a fan of that. But it's small. That's not. No, I'm not feeling it. I'm not. No, I think we're going to stick to hours and we'll sell our. I think we'll do what we've done a few times. We're approaching the back end. If we get some decent contracts September, we'll get this work done. We'll literally get this double fertilised. And then we're just going to rush through to September. We're not going to do any contracts. If I get some of those nice fields come in, do you know? No, let's. Yeah, we are going to have a bit of fun. Not going to be on for very long. I know it's going to be a bit of a. This is going to be a monster session, but you've got to, that's what I keep saying. There's got to be some fun as well as field 24 targets where I am. Close 2 headlands definitely at the most. Okay, let's try 1. It's narrower than I thought. Oh, actually, I'm expecting to change. That is 1 already. Okay. Oh no, it doesn't like doing that. Let's cancel. Let's save it. So that's 24. Save 24. 24 meter spreader. Down first waypoint. Yeah. In fact, no, we're going to do it ourselves. I want this done quickly. If I'm on it. Oh. I also want to switch on double application rate, which I always forget. Activate double and go and go. Let's pull out a little. Yeah, I want this to be quick. The workers are good, but they do all that faffing around, so I just want to like zip around this because I want to have a bit of fun. So it means us doing this as quickly as possible. We've not got far to fill up, so we'll do this. We're going to speed time up till September. If we get good contracts, we're going to leave it at that point. If we don't, we're just going to flip through, I think, to December and have a bit of fun. I'm not going to sell the crops, but I'm going to get up to the point. I don't want to be doing anything major, just having a little tiny bit of fun where you can either buy something nice or, you know, because it's otherwise it is all. I mean, we like to see growth, and it's nice to have a bit of fun. It really is. I think everyone would agree that is the major name of the game. To see a bit of growth, to have a bit of fun, to see a bit of hassles with workers, maybe the odd crash. Well, you'll see plenty of that on my Let's Plays, and I don't hide the fact that we've all got our strengths and weaknesses. I love showing the how to get out of things when you get into them, because we all get into messes. We do in Farming Simulator. It's crashes and things like that. It's natural. Right. Well, I'm in second gear. That surprises me. Do this in one there. What I'm trying to do is get this end done, then obviously I'm closest to that end, it's less far to come, so I'd sooner finish this end off, if I'm honest, than I would, because it's closer to that end from the shop. There's a certain logic there somewhere. Road well there. Would I say that's half of the field? I would say so-ish. Yeah, probably a second one maybe. I like this. It's a fairly big field. Yeah, it really is. Is it as big as 28? Not quite, I don't think. No, it's. Yeah, 21's quite a big field looking at. 23 is quite narrow. 24 is bigger than 21, but it's not as big as 28. 28 is our biggest field, it really is. Right. I hate it when you have to view it in this thing, but you really do need it in this kind of view for spreading. You don't need to be. There's some content creators, some absolutely farmer clients and that, who are absolutely can do some wonderful thing. Virtual Farmer, he's another good one that's amazing at that type of thing, that kind of mechanics, even doing it in cab. I've tried, I've done it successfully a couple of times, but again, I'm not an expert at it. Yeah, to fertilise and spreading, I find to be one of the hardest things in cab. You are going to waste some, you know you are. You're not trying to fool anybody into thinking you can do it perfectly. It's hard enough when you can see your spread width to get that right, let alone when you can't. But yeah, some of them are absolutely amazing, really are. I do love seeing some of the absolute masters at work. Should just about, nearly, I won't say just about, I don't want to quite do it, but nearly get this in one pass, but I think there'll be a little tiny bit on the left. I don't think I'm going to quite do it. Yeah, I don't think I would quite. Want someone actually have some left, I think. Would be nice. I thought I'd actually probably use about the same as I did on the other side, but no, it's been quite good to me. Let's fold that up. Smashing. And that is absolutely a wrap. We're literally going to leave it there. We're going to take this off the field though. Change gear. Let's go in a little, because I do feel now that it's not quite necessary to be that high out. Stick this back on our yard. It is our yard as well. On the side. I'd like to say I'd love to put some kind of a shed, but right, let me just double check that I have done everything I think we have completely. Oh, it didn't take, so I can't cultivate those little bits. So we've got canola growing, and we have the weeds should be completely gone. Yeah, apart from those tiny little tads on that. It should be double fertilised. So let's get rid of mulched. It should be rolled, which it is, and it's double fertilised on all 4 fields. So we are completely out of jobs. So with that in mind, let's sleep through till the morning. We'll go till 9 o'clock, I think. We should check the contracts. If we get some good contracts on some of the fields that I'd like, I'm going to be a bit more choosy, then I'll pick them for the next time. If not, then we're going to zip through. And you can get decent contracts right up to about October, so baling, so we'll have a look. Let's have a look at my favourite part of the day first. Ooh, I could have done with that on my other Let's Play on Rizu Forest. That crops up quite a lot, the helianthus. What's that? Hose, pull out small. Oh, that's the hose. Ah, medium grown weeds. Ah. Right, now that's interesting. I did read about the hose, so that's a 6 metre one. Right, interesting, 8 grand. No, let's have a look. Contracts, if there's good contracts, we're going to take these and that's what we're going to call it. Call it a day. Let's have a look. 43. No, same contracts, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, right, okay, let's sleep through them. Or should I skip through, should I say sleep through? Well, we are, but you know what I mean. It's really us hanging up our farming gear for a few months, going around Europe to try to find good deals through the winter. And trying to offload our crops. We should leave it at that point, though. I'm not, as I said, I'm not selling them this time. Oh, still, yeah. Oh, okay. We have really? That's a 6 and that's a 6.5, and that's double that. No, thank you. I'll pass. Why are you dearer? That makes no sense. 64%. It's just 0.5 meters longer. Well, we'll pass anyway. Right. Oh, let's have a quick look. Baling, we've got field 20 back this time. 38's back. Let's have a quick look. Because they're not bad. I don't mind those. The only trouble is, it's 37. I like 37. That's an absolute favourite of mine. No, of course not. 37, 38 and 36. No, 36 is horrible. 43 and 49. No, 43 and 38. They're not that close. Might do field 20. Tedders. No, we won't. We're going to pass. We really are. Let's go to 10 because it seems to be. Oh, you can't. 9 it is then. November is where we'll leave it because that's when our canola is at a good price. Which is the, oh my life, we have things going on with the trees. Oh my life, let's have a look. GK300, grass rollers and weeders. That's another weeder, 3 metre version though that does. Wow, I think we'll pass, definitely. That's a good price, but for this map, it's had excessive, I think. Right, that's where we're going to leave it though, because we are going to. Let's have a look at prices. I'm not doing it. I'm really not. I suppose that's one thing I'd like to do. I did say this. I was hoping we might get a trailer, but no. Price 553 761 819 Altenberg. Brilliant. And sorghum's on the rise. And 681 for oats, which is actually better than the best price. So I think we'll sell our oats and our canola this time. Let's have a quick look for trailers again. We could buy another one of those. It's a bit of a train though. They are quite small. I don't like the Welgers. They don't respond well to the trailer fill limit. Ah, that's a new one of the cat mat ones, the SAR mats. 12,015. Oh, that looks like a proper size as well. The 13 grand. Nah, that's when it goes to silage. Oh, bale trailer as well. That's the strangest looking bale trailer I've ever had. But no, I don't. No, I'm not feeling it with that. I do like those, but again, that's 11,000. The 18, yeah. Just a bale trailer. I do like the bale trailer. Any more reasonable ones? We know the lizards there. The Oracle. What's the most standard capacity? 18,000. The 13,000. Has it got a back? No, it's not. We could put the Oracle. How much would that give us? 18. Has it got a back hitch? I don't think it has it? No. So the other thing I love about the MAMs, the PTS, I do like the Reichers. Yeah, it would clear us out. No, I'm not feeling it. I think we'll probably go for second one of these. That will give us a combined. Well, that reminds me. Yeah, we will. We need another one. We do. It's no good faffing around. Let's just grab one more of those. We'll get another fixed axle. I want two of those and one swivel. Capacity. Let's do the design colour black. And capacity 10,000 by yes. Okay. Alright, last thing we will do, and this is the very last thing, is we should go and grab that. Because and this isn't because I'm trying to make myself extra work, it's because I know how forgetful I am. I'll forget that I've done that and I'll come charging into the game and I'll think, yeah, I've got to take those off. And I did miss some big patches on that. Shocking. I thought I'd done that. That's why I manually took over. Obviously not quite as well as I thought I had. Seem to have lightning strikes. Right, let's grab that last one and then we're going to take it back across and then we'll know that we've got to basically fill that up. So that's 30 tonnes. We have now got the capacity for. I'm not a massive fan of. I know some people put massive trains of trailers. I'm not a big fan of that. I always think it always falls down when you start to reverse. It's alright going forwards, but there's always something that catches you out. I do love the fact you can join these though. I say we will in time afford one larger one, I think. I do like that. The trouble is it's the map. So you've got to keep it in keeping. I think with the size of this map, it's not a massive map. It's smaller fields. I think I'd sooner have trailers like this that. Ooh, our farmer next door has actually put crop in this time. Not sure what it is. Looks like sorghum. It's not a distinctive look. It has. You're looking at the weeds though, the ones that look like hearts. No. Right, let's hook these up. So next time we shall fill them up and take our canola and oats to harvest. To sell, even. I will recolour that one as well. I did mean it to be black. I don't know why. So, yeah. Don't think these can have covers, I'm sure, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to check. Right, I don't want to be looking at those. They look too weird. Every single autumn you get the weird trees. Oh, I can't look anywhere. Right, this time I really am going, I promise. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're going to continue with me, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.